an episode of Friday Night SmackDown that was. I thought that was one of the better episodes that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. We had a great couple of championship matches, one being the United States champion, LA Knight, defending his title against Santos Escobar, as well as the tag team champions, the Bloodline, defending their titles against the Street Profits. But of course, the number one thing that I wanted to talk about in this post-show reaction is the story between that of Cody Rhodes, the WWE Champion, and Kevin Owens, his friend and current challenger for said title at the Bash in Berlin event. A lot of speculation has been thrown out there in regards to whether or not Cody can trust Kevin Owens. And what I really enjoyed about the opening segment for SmackDown was that, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory had addressed the history of Kevin Owens and how he has had this reputation of someone who really isn't the most trustworthy individual in the WWE. We've seen him turn his back on Sami Zayn multiple times. They even showed his friendship with Chris Jericho, which I thought was an interesting inclusion because WWE for the longest really hasn't shown or included footage of their past superstars who were affiliated with the competition. We saw that in the Vince McMahon regime, but apparently now in this day and age of social media, when everyone's online and is pretty much in the know in regards to pro wrestling, why wouldn't you include Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, that whole festival of friendship segment that has been deemed one of the better segments in recent memory? Nonetheless, we look at Kevin Owens and his reputation of betraying those closest to him. What's to say that it doesn't happen another time? If you ask me in this moment, I'm looking real forward to the match between Owens and Rhodes at Bash in Berlin. In fact, I think it's probably going to be the opener for said event. But you would be a fool to not have any ounce of doubt. I don't think we can trust Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens, for the longest, has been the baby face that we've seen these last couple years. He's been, all smiles. Of course, he has a little bit of a temper. He's had his fixation on the Bloodline. Well, right now, the Bloodline isn't in his crosshairs. They're not the main focus. Right now, it's Cody Rhodes. It's the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens has not held main event gold since 2017, when he lost the Universal Championship at Fastlane to Bill Goldberg. Since then, he's had countless opportunities at the WWE title, at the Universal title, and he's came up short. After a while, I know for me at least, that begins to build up in you. You have this sense of doubt. You have these insecurities that come out. Am I still capable of doing this? Do I still have it? Now, I'm not saying Kevin Owens is downing who he is, but it comes to a boiling point where it's, when have you had enough? Cody Rhodes, clearly the face of the WWE. Ever since he returned at WrestleMania 38 in 2022, we knew he was on his way up. He was on the rise to become the top guy, the top baby face. He won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40, one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time, and one of the biggest main events of all time. Kevin Owens has been battling that very same bloodline, Roman Reigns, for the entirety of the Bloodline storyline. 2021, 2022, 2023, even as lately as now as 2024 with this new incarnation of the Bloodline. The one constant is that Kevin Owens has always been there to thwart the plans and the successes of the Bloodline. But now you have Cody Rhodes come into the picture and is thrusted into the main event scene, wins back-to-back Royal Rumbles, wins the WWE Championship, as I mentioned, at WrestleMania 40, and you're going to tell me there's not any ounce of envy from a Kevin Owens who, on his first night in NXT back in 2014, made his debut in the opening matchup, defeating CJ Parker, now known as Juice Robinson, in AEW. And then later in the night, his best friend Sami Zayn would win the NXT Championship, defeating Adrian Neville, now known as Pac. And instead of congratulating his best friend Sami Zayn when he won the NXT Championship, he ambushed and attacked him viciously. only to have him take that title away a month later. Kevin Owens has shown progression. But if you show me who you are once, and I'm all set, I know what you're all about. Kevin Owens will turn on Cody Rhodes. He cannot be trusted. And I love Kevin Owens. That's my guy. You could even see him behind me over here. But that doesn't change the fact that Cody is playing a dangerous game. Because I feel like we are going to unlock the prize fighter that Kevin Owens was back in NXT. Was in the early run on the main roster from like 2015 to 2018. It might even lead past into Bad Blood. Maybe War Games. But I think this is the beginning of a feud. Some people are writing it off as a one-off, and another instant where Cody Rhodes is creating a feud for himself that's based on respect. Look at the AJ Styles feud. You saw what happened with Logan Paul. There was a little bit of respect there. Of course, in the match, there was sportsmanship and a little theatrics. But there hasn't really been a real intense feud. I think this is the beginning of what could be an intense feud for Cody Rhodes. The WWE right now is on fire. But I think on SmackDown, we need another heel. Kevin Owens can fit that role. Like I mentioned, we saw the viciousness from a Kevin Owens in the past. It's there. It's there. He just needs a little bit more pushing. Just a little bit more pushing. It's like what Heath Ledger said in The Dark Knight as playing the Joker. He says, just like gravity, all you need is a little push. And I think that's what it's going to come down to for Kevin Owens. I'm looking forward to the matchup, but I'm telling you, Kevin Owens, keep your eye on him. Look at the ending of that segment on SmackDown. He had the WWE title. Could have just handed it to Cody, but he built up some momentum, practically sprinting at Cody Rhodes. Yes, he handed off. But where there is smoke, there is fire. And I don't know about you, but it's getting real hot in that title situation between Rhodes and Kevin Owens. You want to talk about title situations as well. LA Knight, yeah, as I mentioned, defeated Santos Escobar in an entertaining matchup. Washington, D.C. really brought it on this episode of SmackDown. He would defeat Santos. We're seeing a little bit of a, turmoil and dissension within the ranks of Legado del Fantasma. Out with the old, in with the new. Because LA Knight announces what it seems to be next SmackDown. I don't think it's going to be at the event Bash in Berlin, but next week on SmackDown, kind of like an open challenge for the U.S. title. So that'll be very interesting to see who is, in lieu of an opportunity for the U.S. title. Because it's in Berlin, it could be a lot of individuals. I think it might be someone from over there, overseas. Who's to say? I don't know. Looking forward to, though. I like the sense of attention that we're giving LA Knight, that we're giving the United States Championship. Keep it going, keep it rolling. I love it. And speaking of love, the Bloodline. The Bloodline, of course, the centerpiece of the WWE and its storytelling in the last few years. We saw a little bit of a development here for the tag team champions. Solo Sikoa basically awarding Jacob Fatu's tag team title to Tanga Loa, which I think is the right call. Have the Guerrillas of Destiny defend that. But Jacob Fatu now, as I do the same signal as he would, basically the enforcer, which we already knew. But I think it serves them better to have Jacob Fatu on the outside. We saw the interference that he ran during the match between the Street Profits and the Guerrillas of Destiny. It works out in their favor. It's a great playbook. If it's not broken, why fix it? But it's just those little details between Jacob Fatu. I love that there was a moment there where, as he handed the title to Solo, who handed it to Tanga Loa, he embraces Solo Sikoa. He gives Solo a hug. He thanks him. Thank you. Thank you, my tribal chief. I love you, my tribal chief. Not very different to that of Paul Heyman. Expressing that same affection, that gratitude, appreciation, and acknowledgement to their respective tribal chiefs. It's only a matter of time before we see Roman Reigns, the OTC, return again. Maybe have Paul Heyman along with him, and pretty soon Jimmy Uso as well. Developments after developments. I love the way the pacing is going for the Bloodline story. There are times where it can be a little bit of a lull and start to slow down, but just be patient, let them cook, and everything will be just fine. As it has been these last couple of weeks. A great episode of SmackDown. It's very, very seldom that you'll hear me have some kind of criticism about the weekly television. They've been on fire as of late, but I'll take it when I can and where I can. SmackDown I thought was a fun episode. Of course, the main talking points, the Bloodline, US Championship, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Friday Night SmackDown as much as I did. If you enjoyed this short post-show reaction, give the video a like, comment down below your favorite parts of SmackDown or your favorite storyline that's being expressed on WWE TV, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the pro wrestling content that is produced on this channel. We have All In this weekend. Look out for a video centered around Bryan Danielson tomorrow. Look out for the post-show reaction to All In. Then we have Bash in Berlin. Then we have NXT TakeOver, NXT No Mercy, and All Out. A lot of pro wrestling content coming out within the next week and a half or so. Big things coming for the channel. Thank you guys again for your love, for your support, and continue to support the channel. With that being said, my name is Jose Ramos Jr., and I'll catch you on the next one.